I gotta ask you because I've been suffering. I've been suffering over the last few weeks, man. I don't know what to think anymore. First of all, what were your thoughts when you first heard that the Clippers were trading for James Harden?
My first thoughts were, am I awake or is this really a nightmare? Because look, this is not against James Harden, but styles make fights, right?
Right.
And this one didn't add up in terms of his style of play and what we were trying to do and what we were aspiring to do. So there's just not enough basketballs. And I know that's cliche. And on certain teams, we have seen uber amounts of talent to the point where you're like, how are they going to make it work? And they figure out a way to make it work. The
Right.
Miami Heat, when they had the big three, we've seen it happen before. But at the same time, this ain't Miami. This ain't Golden State. This is the Clippers who had different issues.
Right.
We need our offense to go through Kawhi.
Right.
We need to have Paul George always there as the 1A, 1B.
Right.
And we need those guys, more importantly, just to stay healthy when it matters most. We didn't need another ball dominant player that is suspect on defense, that's a playmaker that when he comes in, takes away from everyone else's role and responsibility. And that's exactly what he did. So, I just didn't want it to happen. When it did happen,
Right.
I quickly changed my mind and said, look, we got to force this to make this work. But even executives, and I won't name names, but I talked to a couple of executives, one big time exec.
Hmm.
He was like, that was the dumbest trade ever. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, I want to
really?
quote you, but I don't want to burn. He was like, there's no way it could work on paper, let alone in real life. And I will say, it started off horribly. It's a little better now, but it doesn't look like championship contention.
Yeah, I would agree with you. You just mentioned something that I never considered. We all know this. Obviously, you're a former NFL player. I want to ask you because you just said that an executive, I don't know if he's related to the Clippers or not, but anyway, you said the executive said, this is a dumb move. A lot of fans were saying, I don't think this is going to work. As someone that played in the NFL, and I got to ask you, when a decision is being made that is so obvious to the public, maybe so obvious to the players on the team, how is it that top level management in professional sports can sometimes get it so wrong when the answer seems obvious?
Yeah, to break it down for you, we all know that it runs downhill. It runs downhill, and I ain't talking about it. So there's a power dynamic that starts obviously with the owner
Hmm.
all the way down. So owner, team president, general manager, then you start getting to the head coach and the players, and then the fans, right? All of us have invested interest, but we all have different levels of understanding, enlightenment, and power. So this is how it goes. And I've seen it happen so many ways where the fans are like, duh, because a lot of times the fans, because they're bystanders, they know details. The players sometimes don't even know the opponent's name. They'd be like, yeah, number 73. And they'd be
Hmm.
like, man, that's Isaac Taylor. And you'd be like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
So players don't always know everything either. Fans have a lot of details. Then
Hmm.
there's the player experience. He's a better player than him. A lot of times we're wrong because we look at it from a talent conversation. They're looking at it from a team chemistry, financial cap situation, how he will plug in. So we all got different levels. Then you get to the coach who's like, yeah, he's good, but he's not coachable, etc. Then you get into the administration where they're like, we like this guy, we don't like this guy, but we need it signed off by our superior. Now, who's the superior in every organization?
Hmm.
The owner. Now, the owner doesn't always dive into the details like the fans, like the players, etc. The owner likes what he likes. And some of these owners, especially, I don't even care if you see them courtside every time, like Balmer.
Hmm.
They don't dive into those details. They're looking at it from a macro perspective. How does this make my organization better? And how does this make my organization look better?
Hmm.
James Harden, another superstar, makes your organization look better. I don't know if he's going to make it actually better on the court. So I think
Hmm.
this is what happened. Everybody was running it up. Fans were like, no. Players were like, I know one player in particular, on the Clippers for real.
Hmm.
He like, dog, I gotta keep acting like I like this. And he like, I hate it. He the homie too. I can't out him. But boy, he be like, dog. Anyway, so it's so funny to see him at press conferences. It's like, dog, you can't make up these words. So you got all these levels. And imagine this, dog. Everybody is saying no, no, no. And then it gets to the owner and he vetoes all of that. He's like, nah, I'm going to do it. Why? I'm the one writing the checks. I'm the one who's the face of this franchise. And this new arena that we're opening next year, I need an insurance policy of Superstar to open that arena. I really think they ran it up the chain of command, and the top dog probably was like, yes, and everyone else said no.